Hey, hi everyone. So I'll be posting videos on CK, CKAD and CKS. So today we'll start with CKS as our first video. So we'll be looking at a KillerCoda scenario to secure an ingress with a TLS certificate, right? So this involves two steps. The first one is we need to create a TLS secret, and then we need to edit the existing manifest of the ingress and to add the TLS specifications. So we'll start with the example, right? So we need to do this in the namespace world, and they have given the curl URL for testing. So let's first get the ingress services. So kubectl get service in all namespaces, because I don't know in which namespace the ingress is configured. So in the namespace ingress nginx, we have this node port service configured, and for HTTP we have this port 30080, and for HTTPS we have 30443, right? So we'll just try to curl. So, but we'll do it for HTTPS. So 30443, and the protocol will be HTTPS, and we'll be using the verbose flag. So now if you see, we are having the CN as Kubernetes ingress controller fake certificate. So, this is not a TLS configured ingress. It is using a fake certificate. So we'll start with the tasks. So first we'll create a secret, right? So we'll head to the Kubernetes docs and we'll search kubectl TLS secret. Okay. So we'll go here, and we have this command kubectl create secret TLS and name, and we need to pass two parameters. The first one is cert and the next one is key. So we'll be requiring a certificate and a key to create a TLS secret. So they have provided us the OpenSSL command. So we'll generate the certificate and key using this command. So see, we have the certificate and we have the key generated. So now we can create a TLS secret. So let's create the secret. kubectl create secret TLS. The name will be TLS secret, and the cert will be cert.crt, and the key will be cert.key, and obviously in the namespace world. So we'll see whether it is created. kubectl create secrets in the namespace world. So we have the secret created. So we are done with step one. Now we need to edit the existing ingress manifest so that we configure the TLS on it. So we go to Ingress in the Kubernetes documentation, and we click on Ingress. And on the right hand side, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see a section as TLS. So in the specification, you can see a TLS configuration. So we'll copy this TLS specification, and now we'll edit the manifest, right? So kubectl get ingress. The ingress is in the namespace world, right? So yeah, so we go to the ingress, and the name of the ingress is world. We'll edit the ingress now. kubectl edit ingress world, which is obviously in the namespace world, right? Okay, so there's a typo. We missed the E of edit, right? So now we are into the ingress manifest. We go inside the spec section and we paste the copied specification, right? So now we need to make two changes. The first one is the host. So we'll copy this host, and next is the secret name, right? So let's do it one by one. So let's copy the host and let's modify. So we have modified the host, and then we need to modify the secret name. So the name of the secret is TLS secret. Okay, so that's it. We'll exit from the ingress. Now let's describe the ingress. kubectl describe ingress world in the namespace world. So now we see that it is configured for TLS, right? So now let's curl again. Okay, let me clear the console. And now if we curl, right, we'll be using the HTTPS 30443, and the protocol will be HTTPS and in the verbose mode, right? So now if you see the CN, right, So yeah, so now if you check the CN, so you can see the CN is from the, it is not from the fake certificate. Earlier it was from the fake certificate. So now it's from world.universe.mine. So it is configured properly, right? So we can also verify from their command. So curl this one. So we'll clear screen and we'll run the command. And you can see that it is configured correctly. CN stands for common name, which will be used in the verification of the certificates. So we are done. If you validate, so we get the validation as successful, right? So we are done. So this was to edit an existing ingress, but say you want to create a new ingress with TLS configured. So in that case, how we'll be proceeding, right? So let's first create two pods, pod 1 and pod 2. Then we'll expose those pod using two services, SVC1 and SVC2 respectively. And then we'll create an ingress resource, which will be TLS configured, right? And we will do it efficiently because in exam, we have hardly 5 to 6 minutes for one question, right? So let's start. So we'll create a pod, kubectl run. So let's first get the pods. So we don't have pods, right, in the default namespace. So let's create kubectl run pod 1 and the image will be httpd. And now let's create pod 2. So now we have two pods. Kubectl get pods minus o wide, and we have two pods. The next one is creating, yeah, and now it's created. Now let's expose those two pods. So kubectl expose pod 1, expose pod 1, and the name of the service will be svc1 for pod 1, and the type will be cluster IP, and the port will be 80, and that's it. So we'll do it for the pod 2 as well, and we'll change the service name to svc2, right? So now let's get the services, get svc. So we have two services created, svc1 and svc2 for pod 1 and pod 2 respectively. Now let's check for the endpoints, right? So yeah, so if you see for the svc, the pods are currently configured. So we have this 13 and this 13, and we have this 14 and this 14, right? So the endpoints are picked correctly. So let's clear the console. Now let's create the ingress, right? So we go to ingress and let's search for kubectl create ingress. So there's no need to by heart anything. We can use the docs, and we just need to be efficient with the kubectl commands. Let's search for TLS. So if you see, uh, we can do it with this command, right? And we need a class command as well because few of the ingress throw error if we don't specify the ingress class. So we'll check, right? So let's go to, so we'll check for the ingress class, kubectl get ingress class. So the name of the class is nginx. So now let's create the ingress, right? So let's first see whether we have some existing ingress in the default namespace. So we don't have anything. Let's create kubectl create ingress. It is a TLS ingress, and the class is nginx, and we need to specify rules, right? So rule will be, we'll take a random domain, right? It will be demo.com, and if you go to say pod 1, so we have the service as svc1 colon 80, and same for the pod 2, we will have the demo.com as our domain, that is host, and we do it for pod 2. If you go to path pod 2, we will have svc2 colon 80. And now so this is a normal ingress, right? So we need a TLS based ingress. So if you see the docs, we need to specify the TLS as well. So we need to specify comma and then the TLS certificate. So we have already created a TLS certificate, right? So we'll just use the earlier TLS certificate. So TLS is equal to TLS secret, and same for this one. We go and TLS is equal to TLS secret, right? Just we'll just get the manifest. So run is equal to client minus o yml, and we will redirect it to ingress.yml. So let's go inside the ingress.yml. So you see, uh, we have the same ingress as earlier. So, but this is created from scratch. We have the rules for pod one, it's SVC1 at port 80, and we have the host configured as well. And for pod two, we have SVC2, and we have the TLS as well. So we have the TLS section present for demo.com, and the secret name is TLS secret. So in case in exam you get a scenario wherein you need to create a new ingress from scratch, so you can use the kubectl command, and within one command you can create the TLS configured ingress. Uh, my advice will be just be well versed with the kubectl command line so that you make optimum use of time. So that's it. Thank you for watching.